What's up, Trojan family? Listen, man, it's the top of the morning, man, and we just kind of wanted to do a morning after assessment, if you will, and just kind of give our thoughts and things that, of course, what USC can improve on, what the coaches can improve on, and of course, where this program is headed. And the question is this program headed up or is it headed down? Is the trajectory headed up? And I think that's important that we all look at that. Or is it headed down? Last year, of course, 6-6, it was absolutely headed all the way down. But when you look at this year from a recruiting standpoint, I think all of us said that if we have a 9-3 season, that would keep this class together. Could this season have been different, way different? Absolutely. Do we say we have think we have the best trenches to compete yet? I wouldn't say yet, but I will say we had enough pieces to win and make it to the playoff. However, I'll stand on this all day long. I think that USC is a playoff caliber team, but self-inflicted wounds, man. Just the way we started some of these games, easily, if we would have just started the way we completed some of these games, just like we did yesterday, like we did against Iowa, like we did against several other teams, USC could have absolutely competed for a playoff. We're not saying win the playoff, but we're saying they could have been in the playoffs easily. They have enough talent to make it through. However, yes, we want to establish these trenches more. I think whether it's the transfer portal, we got this number one recruiting class, and they get ready to come in. And this class is, do we expect some of these guys to come in and be an immediate impact? I think some of these guys, caliber-wise, when you look at guys like Jimmy Winfield, I think Winfield can come in and do some things. I think Tom, because you look at a guy like Floyd Boucard who came in. You guys know this year in the summertime, I labeled two super freshmen, which was Floyd Boucard from a defensive side, and then from an offensive side, I labeled Tanuk Hines as the super freshman as well, and both of them proved to be some super freshmen. Floyd Boucard got hurt, so he didn't maintain, that dominance that he had. But however, if he would have stayed in there, I believe he would have continued to make progress. Jakeem Stewart, don't let me forget, both of those two guys, Floyd Boucard, Jakeem Stewart, are both super freshmen. And they balled out from a defensive perspective. So I'm saying that to say, I think we can get some guys, coupled with some of the guys we got coming back, like Carlon Jones. I think Kobe Pepe's out of here. Devin Tompkins, I'm not sure if I think is he a junior or a senior? I gotta get that straight. But I think Anthony Lucas is gone. So you look at some of those guys, of course, Braylon Shelby's coming back, Cam Fountain. You got some guys on the edge that are going to be coming back. But then you got some guys that are sitting there like Jaden Ramos, of course, Carlon Jones. You got Gus Cordova. You got some guys that can absolutely move and groove. And I think USC, they have some talent on that D-line. You got guys like Lou Waffle coming in as well. So I think this team, man, we got something to build on. I think that we're going to make progress from a team standpoint. But I think foundationally, I think it's being established. I think we got to put some more discipline in play. It's just too many, like we said, the self-inflicted wounds, they're just kind of just being loose, man. And I think a lot of times, a lot of players sometimes think that those little penalties that you get, I can go back and correct that. But at the end of the day, those little penalties can literally be a game-changing penalty, can cost us the game. And as a result, USC is now out of the playoffs. Now, you don't put it on one person, but you do. Penalties accumulate yardage. Yardage accumulates, us being up against our own selves, and that's not what you want to do. So, we're gonna have to correct that. Now, from a coaching standpoint, I still love what of course, Dennis Simmons is doing, what he's doing, our offensive line coach, what he's doing. I think Lincoln Riley, from a play calling standpoint, I think he can continue to still call plays. I love what he does as a play caller. And I told you guys this before. I feel like Lincoln Riley is Lincoln Riley because he is a play caller. He adds that. That's what he does. So I personally would not get rid of that. Continue to do that. However, from the defensive side, we got to see something different from the linebacker play and what they're being taught. I think our linebackers. I don't know. It's a scheme, and that's something we're gonna discuss. Me and Jay Walk, we'll definitely go and we'll do some live action or whatever, and we'll talk about all this stuff, man. But we'll just kind of make some assessments and talk about some end of year stuff. At defensive line, I think we could tighten some things up there a little bit, but I think some of that is more so with the defensive line. I think some of that is more so with us striking out, maybe in the portal with some of the portal guys. And we figured Keyshawn Silver, no disrespect to him at all, but you just kind of feel like it would be more of a greater impact coming from SEC school, Kentucky, and you just space eater. You just felt like it would have a bigger impact, a bigger pushback at the line of scrimmage, and we didn't necessarily see that. And that's kind of unfortunate. I think Josh Jerry got hurt, and so from a defensive trench standpoint, defensive tackle, I'm not even talking about the edge guys or defensive ends. I'm talking about primarily the nose tackle, D tackle. You want to see us just, if we, you want to get a Derek Harmon type of guy that came from Michigan State. Oregon ended up getting him. I think we got to kind of pursue it that way, man. And that's going. And I've told you this, guys, a long time ago. I think I heard Sue Craven say the same thing. You got to pay for those guys, man. And this is the new reality of college football. So do you want to attack a couple of those guys in the portal? We'll see what happens with that until some of these guys mature. Or do you trust some of the guys that are coming in? Because at the end of the day, man, the schedule next year is going to be kind of brutal. Yeah, we got some big time players, big time teams coming in. And I think we play Indiana, but I think Indiana's one of those teams that has quite a few seniors, if I'm not mistaken, that came from James Madison. So I know a lot of people looking at that Indiana game, and I don't think it's necessarily going to be like that. And then you got Ohio State coming in, and we got Oregon coming in. But you look at what we did this year. We could compete with any of those teams. But at the end of the day, it's going to take the trench play on both sides of the ball. If it's anything that I wanted to leave with you guys today, from an assessment standpoint, from my thought process standpoint, build the trenches in the offseason to make sure that they are right, and instill discipline. Discipline and trenches, man. Those are the couple things that really come to mind when I think about the end of the year and what we need to do, how we need to attack it. But excuse me, I love our guys, man. I think we got some incredible players, man, and we'll see what happens with the bowl game, man. I mean, hopefully. I don't know. I saw, I just did a little bowl projection. I typed it in, and I saw where a couple of teams, maybe first four out, Texas maybe out. And so I want to see us if we can get matched up against like a Texas team, man. I see some projecting the Alamo Bowl. I don't know, I don't know why they keep saying it, but I see some projecting the Alamo Bowl. And it was one team I saw projected to play Vanderbilt. I can't remember. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. But hopefully we get a good bowl matchup. Because at the end of the day, man, some of these teams going to motivate players. You don't want to, because sometimes USC, let's keep it real, they play down the competition sometimes. And if they just got to, you just hope for fans' sake that we could play a good bowl team in a bowl game and be able to produce that way so that we can have a performance that we can get up for, man. So, look, I'm out of here, man. Happy Sunday, man. I hope everybody's getting ready to get it in. Go to church, do your thing, man. Praise God. And I'm out of here, man. We will go live sometime today. It'll be up, I'm thinking, around 5 p.m. West Coast, East Coast time. That's 8 p.m. I'm out of here, man. Fight on, fight on.